Okay. So after you find yourself a comfortable posture that you can hold with relative stillness for 30 minutes, it's important that it be somewhat comfortable so that you're not constantly in a battle with adjusting. And over time, we want it to become more upright with a better posture. So that will be relaxing and vivifying to our nervous system. We're going to do an acceptance meditation today. I think all meditations are acceptance meditations, but we're going to focus in on that. So we often start by just really accepting where we are. This where I use is only partially about your location, but you do need to accept what your environment is like today. In the next 30 minutes, nothing about your environment requires you to adjust it or fix it. The temperature, the noise. I've got someone drilling in the neighbor house. I'm watching a dog. And I just acknowledge those things are happening. And if there's any resistance in me, I notice that and I let go of what I can, and then I accept. So in my case, I'm totally fine with those circumstances. But maybe I notice a little annoyance or resistance in my body. And I see if that will let go. And if it doesn't, I just go, okay, I'm annoyed. I'm a little annoyed. And we accept that. And so we accept our environment. We accept our reaction to our environment. And then our reaction is in our thoughts and our emotions and our body. And then we do the same thing for our body as a whole. This is how my body is today. Always useful to, as you're doing this, not just check in with the things that might bother you, but notice things are nice. Some things are peaceful. And maybe there are some things that are a little uncomfortable. My hands feel nice on my thighs. My head feels calm. There's a little soreness in my back. I just accept this is the way I am today. And will I be able to endure this for 30 minutes? Yes. Okay, then I can accept it. I can let it be there. Do I have any grasping for the pleasurable stuff or avoidance or resistance for the pain in my back? Maybe. And then I just accept that. So we accept our body and we accept our reactions to our body. And our reactions are in our, might be in the body itself or in our emotions or our mind. And we all come to meditation with goals, a way we want it to be. And usually it relates to our emotional self and our mental self. And so we just acknowledge those now. How am I feeling emotionally today? Again, taking an opportunity to notice any calmness or peacefulness or pleasure or joy or happiness or love. And also noticing any uncomfortable emotions, or they may have a name or they might not have a name. It just might be some nameless emotion. There we go. Can we endure these emotions for 30 minutes? Yes, we can. So we're going to accept them and let them be as they are right now. And they can change. And we notice that if we don't want to accept some part of our emotional self, that's a kind of resistance. It'll be in the body or in the emotions or the mind. And we just let go of that. And if it won't let go, we acknowledge that we have a reaction to ourselves having an emotion. Oh, yeah, there's that anxiety. I'm sad that I still have that anxiety. And now I accept that I have that sadness. And finally, if you haven't sort of already, we add the mind in. How do you want your mind to be in meditation? Well, it's probably not going to be that way right away. Is our mind loud? Is it negative? Is it um, jumping all over the place? Is it distracted? Is it unfocused? Take an opportunity to notice anything pleasant in the mind, anything clear or bright or solid or focused. And accept anything uncomfortable about the mind. That is something, all that uncomfortable means is it's something you would rather not have. And so you just acknowledge the mind is the way it is. In that acknowledgement, you might notice you have a reaction to noticing the way the mind is in the body or in the emotions or in the mind. You might have a reaction to the mind, to the way the mind is. Just let go of that reaction. And if it won't just let go, if you can't let go of it, then just acknowledge you have that reaction. Now just think globally. We have taken in everything in our experience, our whole environment that we can experience, our whole body that we can experience, all of our emotions that we can experience, and all of our mind that we can experience. And we just acknowledge this is the way I am. This is where I am today. This is the experience of being me right now. This is how I begin meditation. This is exactly how I'm supposed to begin meditation. I do not need to change this in any way. What I need to do is just be awake to it, allow it to be as it is. And if at any point while we've been doing this survey of our present moment and you've been accepting, you notice a relaxation or a ease, an unwinding of some tension, it's good to take that in. That is a marker of some resistance, some non-acceptance disappearing, maybe just a little bit. Now we're going to make this a little different by focusing on the breath now. And that requires a little bit of concentration. And I suggest you pick a part of your breath that feels comfortable or easy to focus on, or easier. We're going to bring the same attitude of acceptance now to this very small part of our experience. We just accepted everything in our experience. Now we're going to practice it at a higher level with respect to just the sensations of breathing. So here's 5 markers for acceptance. We see the thing as it is, that is, we feel it as it is. So we just feel the breath as it is. That's 1. 2, we let go of control. We stop trying to control. So we let the breath come in when the breath wants to come in. We let the breath go out when the breath wants to go out. Each of these things can be hard to do, so we are practicing. We let go of fixing. Fixing is a particular type of control, but stop trying to improve the breath. Let it be the way it is today. We let go of judging the breath. So immediately our mind is saying, I like this or I don't like this. Now, you don't need to stop yourself from doing that. You just need to let go of it. So you stop identifying with the judger. Just as we did with the whole body, if you notice yourself judging, that's fine. Just let it be there. Let the judging be there. Be awake to it, and then come back to the breath. That's the way we let go. So we see it as it is. We let go of control. Therefore, we let go of fixing. And we let go of judging. And then finally, we're going to let go of intellectualizing or conceptualizing or thinking about the breath. Again, this is so automatic, you won't be able to stop it from happening, but you notice it happening, and then you let go and bring your attention back to the feeling sensations of the breath. So you'll have a picture of the breath, or you might have an idea about the breath, or you might talk to yourself about the breath. But we aren't interested in those mental constructions of the breath. Bring your attention back to the physical sensation of the breath. Remind ourselves what we're doing. We can use a label like feel. 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 So we are seeing this breath as it is, feeling it as it is. And as control, fixing, judgment, conceptualization arise to get in the way of us seeing it as it is, we just acknowledge those and bring our attention back to the feeling. We also need to acknowledge if we just get distracted and we start doing something else entirely. And then we just gently bring our attention back. We accept that we got distracted. We accept how we got distracted. And then we bring our attention gently back to the sensations that we are interested in focusing in on the breath. So the concentration element is to see how continually and how closely you can be in contact with the physical experience of the breath. How continually and how closely you can be in contact with the physical sensations of the breath. As you stay in contact, you practice acceptance, allowing that breath to be as it is, to move as it wants to move, to be feel plus or minus to you. You allow for the ideas about it to arise, and you just keep coming back continually and closely to the contact with the breath. Can you experience the sensations of the breath for one whole breath in and out? Without slipping into distraction, judgment, control, fixing, or thought. If you can do one whole breath, you're probably in the advanced category. If you can do one, then see if you can do it again. And pay really close attention to see if any judgment or thought or control is slipped in between you and your actual experience. There are many layers of thought and judgment between us and reality. And we can peel one away and it feels bright and new and fresh. But that doesn't mean we haven't got more layers to peel away. So we then look again. And of course, this peeling away is really not an action we do. It's something we allow to happen by stopping doing everything that gets in the way. Feel, feel. Any sense of struggle or difficulty you're having, you can accept that, but also know that that's a signal that you are resisting your experience in some way. Don't judge yourself for that, but maybe use it as a compass needle to notice what you're holding on to and not letting go of, or where you're holding on. With true and complete acceptance, almost all suffering will disappear. Now we're going to start moving back to where we started our practice by slowly expanding our experience of the breath. So if you've only been noticing one little small part of it, notice a bigger chunk of it. So if you're just noticing a small part of the belly, expand to the whole belly. Maybe all the way around to the back of the spine. Experience that whole area breathing. And just let that slowly expand upwards and downwards in your body, feeling your whole body as you breathe in and out. The concentration still centers your attention on the breath, but your attention is now wider. It's wide enough to take in every effect of the breath in the body, from the chest into the neck, down the arms, fingers, down the thighs, all the way down to the feet and toes, up into the neck and face, and all the way to the top of the skull. Now, first, this may be like you're scanning your breath through your body, but the attention is still relatively narrow. Just slowly, you want to allow that attentional space to widen so you take in more and more at once. If you're right up close to somebody, say you're kissing them, you can only take in so much. But if you see them on the top of a mountain from far away, you can take them all in just a tiny little part of your experience. So this is what we're practicing, is getting our attention wide enough to take in our whole breathing experience without too much effort. Don't want to judge or not accept that you're not being able to do this. But the truth is, again, that this spacious experience is actually the easiest one. We just have to let go of all the things we're doing. Our awareness is taking in the whole body and breathing experience already, whatever we're doing. It doesn't require any meditation. We just can't notice it yet without learning to let go of our habit of thinking about everything. That is, getting into the details and trying to fix them and judge them. Instead, we just sit back and allow our whole body and breathing apparatus to arise in awareness. Now, this whole body and breathing apparatus does include all your emotional feeling in the body and mind the mind itself, just assuming that the mind is sort of in the same space where most of us experience it. You just include that in the breathing experience. The mind breathes, the emotion breathes. So again, we just finish here by accepting where we are. And I want you to sort of do that by accepting the meditator. This whole time you've been doing a meditation. I want you just to accept that there is right now, this part of you that is doing the meditation. If you can feel it or experience it in the mind or the emotions, then you can accept it. You can just let it be there. There is my sense of being a meditator. We're going to let that be. Now, for many of us, when we accept the meditator, it's almost like we take up a position behind the meditator. So wherever you feel the meditator is, we sort of position ourselves behind that, often sort of at the back of the head or behind the head. And I just want you to accept that too, that you've sort of taken up a position of observing yourself as the meditator. Just let that be there. Let that sensation of being the observer of the meditator be. This can go on for a while, but if you want a shortcut, it's just requires putting everything down. Just accepting everything, every part of your experience, including the part that's trying to accept. And it's really the experience of doing nothing, but not even the doing of creating a sense of self. Okay. Now you do not have to move. You can continue sitting as long as you want. But if you want to come out of it, just start letting yourself move and open your eyes in a way that is supportive. You might give yourself a hug to thank yourself for meditating today. And whatever feels good. And this is a kind of acceptance to notice that your body wants certain things. Listen to your body as it's been sitting still and you've sort of forced it to sit still. Most of us have to force it a little bit. That's a kind of non-acceptance that's built into the beginning of meditation. And so let's remind ourselves we did that by accepting the body's desire to move and actually letting it move. You can accept the desire without moving, but you can also accept the desire while moving. Desires do not have to be rejected to be accepted. Mm. Okay, Facebook, thanks for stopping by.